As the 2026 US midterm elections approach, everyone in the crypto space is asking the same questions. How much influence will the industry have this time around? And how much could the market gain once the votes are counted in November? If the 2024 election is anything to go by, the answer to both questions could be enormous. Today on Web3 Verse, Alex is breaking down exactly how crypto became one of the most powerful forces in American politics, what the industry is planning for the midterms, and what it all means for the market going forward. Let's get into it. To understand where things stand today, we need to look at what happened in 2024, because the scale of crypto's political influence that year was genuinely unprecedented. The crypto industry became one of the largest funding sources behind Donald Trump's return to the White House. This money flowed primarily through political action committees with a very clear objective: replace anti-crypto politicians with pro-crypto ones. The biggest player was a newly formed super PAC called Fairshake, which quickly became the crypto industry's political weapon of choice. Unlike traditional PACs, which can donate directly to candidates but face strict limits, super PACs cannot coordinate with campaigns directly but can spend unlimited amounts on political advertising and messaging. And in 2024, they spared absolutely no expense. By election day, Fairshake had amassed a $227 million war chest. Its biggest backers included Ripple, Coinbase, and Andreessen Horowitz, each contributing roughly $50 million. Overall, crypto accounted for nearly half of all corporate political spending in 2024. No other industry came close. And perhaps most remarkably, before 2024 crypto's influence in US politics was virtually non-existent. The speed of the transformation was staggering. Fossil fuel companies took nearly 14 years to accumulate $176 million in cumulative political donations. Crypto spent $129 million in just 3 election cycles, with 92% of that in 2024 alone. The results were clear. 85% of Fairshake-backed candidates won their races. An estimated 270 pro-crypto lawmakers took seats in Congress. Washington's tone toward crypto shifted dramatically almost overnight. And one of those newly positioned politicians was the president himself. Trump's evolution from calling Bitcoin a scam in 2021 to becoming the so-called crypto president by 2024 remains somewhat mysterious in its specifics. His NFT collection launch in 2022 appeared to mark an early turning point. By March 2024 he was speaking publicly in favor of crypto, and by July 2024 he was the keynote speaker at the Bitcoin conference in Nashville telling attendees he wanted the future of crypto to be mined, minted, and made in America. Whether it was the money, the meetings, or genuine conviction that drove the transformation, the outcome was unmistakable: crypto was no longer on the political sidelines. The industry wasted no time turning its 2024 momentum into preparation for 2026. In fact, some crypto super PACs began raising funds for the midterms before the 2024 results were even officially called. Just days before the election was decided, Fairshake announced it had already raised $78 million for future campaigns. That single announcement made one thing unmistakably clear: this was never just about getting Trump back in office. It was about building a durable, long-term roster of crypto-aligned politicians across both chambers of Congress. By the end of January 2026, Fairshake had raised a total of $193 million, with major contributions continuing from Ripple and Andreessen Horowitz. Across the broader industry, recent reports show crypto has raised approximately $228 million for the 2026 midterm cycle, with $221 million held by pro-crypto super PACs. There are also reports of an additional $100 million in secured funding not yet appearing in Federal Election Commission filings. Put simply, the crypto industry is not just preparing for the midterms, it is gearing up to dominate them. So where specifically is this money being directed? Senate races are a primary focus. States where crypto spending can flip high-profile seats are receiving the most attention, while safely partisan states are largely being bypassed in favor of competitive battlegrounds where investment offers better returns. House races are seeing similar targeting, with crypto PACs specifically going after incumbent lawmakers who have consistently opposed crypto-friendly legislation. The strategic goal is straightforward: maximize the number of pro-crypto votes in both chambers ahead of critical regulatory votes. The legislation that matters most right now is the Digital Asset Market Structure Clarity Act, commonly known as the Clarity Act. This bill builds on the framework established by FIT 21, which passed the House but died in the Senate in early 2025. The Clarity Act aims to divide regulatory oversight between the SEC, which would handle investment-related tokens and securities, and the CFTC, which would oversee commodities and trading compliance. It would also establish clearer rules of the road for crypto projects, exchanges, wallets, and DeFi platforms across the board. The bill passed the House with bipartisan support but has faced obstacles in the Senate. Democrats have pushed for ethics provisions addressing conflicts of interest related to the current administration. But the biggest challenge has come from the banking sector. Banks are alarmed by a provision that would allow stablecoins to offer yield to holders, claiming it could trigger trillions of dollars in deposit outflows and destabilize the financial system. These concerns led to amendments that threatened the bill's integrity, prompting Coinbase CEO to publicly withdraw support until the issues were resolved. High-level White House talks between crypto executives, lawmakers, and banking representatives have since resumed. No timeline has been confirmed, but the fact that these discussions are happening at the highest levels suggests a path forward may be emerging. The bill's fate could ultimately hinge on the midterm results. If more pro-crypto lawmakers win in November, passage becomes significantly more likely. So what does all of this mean for the crypto market? Political tailwinds are building. Sitting politicians will want to demonstrate loyalty to secure PAC funding, while new candidates will rush to signal crypto-friendly positions to attract donations and votes. As anticipation of clearer favorable regulation builds, markets could see a meaningful rally heading into November. That said, the political landscape carries real risks. Trump's involvement with the industry has generated growing controversy among voters, and his administration's tariff threats and market disruptions have contributed to the current bear market. All 435 House seats and 33 Senate seats are up for grabs, and frustrated voters can send powerful messages regardless of their views on crypto specifically. There is also a deeper strategic vulnerability in the industry's current approach. With the overwhelming majority of crypto political spending going toward Republican candidates, the industry is effectively betting everything on one party. Politics is cyclical. Power changes hands. If a future government arrives with no meaningful pro-crypto voices on the Democratic side, much of the regulatory progress made under the current administration could be reversed. A more balanced, genuinely bipartisan approach would serve the industry's long-term interests far better than the current partisan concentration. The goal should be clear: durable regulation that secures crypto's role in the financial system regardless of which party holds power. That is the only outcome that truly protects investors and the industry over the long run. That is everything for today on Web3 Verse. Drop your thoughts in the comments and we will see you in the next one.